Thank you so much for joining us.
WLBT's First Alert Weather Team is keeping you up to date with the latest information. From your morning commute to your afternoon drive, we're on your side, streaming on your favorite devices. WLBT First Alert Weather Plus. WLBT's First Alert Weather Team is committed to your safety with 6 hours of continuous team coverage.
This is a relentless storm, Dave.
We're fortunate we all made it out alive.
And our network of sky cams across the state alerting you to danger, bringing you live footage of tornadoes as they touch down in Wathau County.
Look at this, Chase. Guys, look at that.
This is ground zero almost. I mean, this is really hard to stomach, like I said.
We take our commitment to being on your side seriously, and together we're Mississippi Strong. Weekdays, stream First Alert Weather Plus.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us.
WLBT's First Alert Weather Team is keeping you up to date with the latest information. From your morning commute to your afternoon drive, we're on your side, streaming on your favorite devices. WLBT First Alert Weather Plus.
All right, good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us here on WLBT Plus First Alert Weather Edition. We're going to dive into your local forecast, and we'll start off with the weather here at home because let me tell you, it is a little toasty outside, but little victories, as we like to call it here in Mississippi, because it's not 115 degrees outside in the middle of August in the middle of Mississippi. So not looking all that bad at all. Beautiful blue skies and honestly feeling pretty good as well.
That's the bar. It's not 115.
Yeah.
And it's not raining.
Exactly.
So it's a pretty good day.
It's a great day in summer Mississippi. So a live view of our First Alert radar and just a look across much of the southeast, not looking bad across a good portion of the Twin States, as well as back into much of the deep south. Go off to the coast, or if you're planning a trip for this weekend, let me tell you, it's going to be a typical summer light day down at the beach where you might run into some scattered showers and thunderstorms, but most of us, at least along and north of I-20, are dry because of a stall boundary starting to make its way south. So that's going to keep us looking good and feeling pretty good. Right now, I know we're a little toasty, so temperatures into the low 80s, feeling a little bit warmer into the mid to upper 80s. But again, we talked about the bar.
Yeah,
we're not there. So little victories.
We need to keep our expectations realistic.
Yeah.
We know what season it is. I'm looking for, I'm scrolling through the feels like, trying to find the feels like temperature. So we can go ahead and take a look at the heat index values before we move on, because we keep referencing them. Let's see. This is not my workspace.
Yeah, it's my show that she's scrolling through. So,
you know, I can search it.
That's what I'm saying.
I'll do that. Apologies for the delay.
It's fine. But good morning to everyone. I hope y'all are having a great Friday. It is, it's feeling good. It's feeling a little bit warmer. Again, not looking bad at all in any way, shape, or form. Yeah. Again, just a tad bit warmer. 87 in Meadville. Temperatures down there were into the low 80s. So just a little bit warmer. But if you live off to the north of I-20, let me tell you, it feels like the actual temperature outside right now, all because of that stalled boundary. So
yeah,
again,
that's pretty good.
That's a great thing whenever we talk about everything that we're going to be focusing on this afternoon. We're going to be seeing the ushered out moisture push off to the south into the Gulf. And with all that moisture heading on out, we're actually going to be talking about feel like temperatures dropping down into this weekend. Still, with that dry air, we will be focusing on the temperatures just a tad bit warmer.
There we go.
Yeah, just a tad bit warmer, but there's going to be chances of just some isolated showers as that frontal boundary pushes through. With that, more than likely south along that Highway 84 corridor, most, if not everyone in Mississippi or in central Mississippi, will be staying dry. It's just off to the south of I-20 that we're going to be talking about those showers. And that pattern will continue into some other portions of the weekend as well.
Yes. And I would say even further south than I-20, kind of along Hattiesburg and south, pretty much. So that means possibly Walthall, Pike County, you could see some of those showers. But even as far as Copiah County goes, Lawrence County, most likely staying dry through much of the day. Lincoln County, places like that.
Yeah, most of us will not see any rainfall, which is great. I mean, your weekend not going to be looking all that bad. I know the start of football is this Saturday, week 0. We're also having some high school football games tonight, so otherwise, not going to be all that bad for any outdoor plans tonight or into this weekend. Should be good to go for everything going on out there into Saturday and even into Sunday, but Monday and into Tuesday is really our biggest change, I would say.
Yes, that's exciting too. People are starting football, and it's starting to feel kind of like fall too, at least heading into next week. Not so much today and throughout the weekend as well. We're going to remain in those lower 90s, but then for your next week, it'll be in the 80s for afternoon highs. Whereas it feels like 87 degrees right now in many spots. That's what we're actually going to be for the late afternoon for your Tuesday through the end of the week next week.
Yeah, it's going to be feeling great, especially as someone who wakes up early every single day. Those early morning lows being down in the mid 60s, low 60s for some, that's going to be feeling good to me. It might even feel, dare I say, just a little chilly. Yeah, it might even feel chilly. I don't even want to say that because it feels wrong to say that in late August. But
I would say a little cool.
Yeah.
Might be a little cool.
It's a nice little taste of fall though.
Yeah.
Into much of next week, which honestly we need. We are going to get that return of moisture into Thursday though. So rainfall chances could pick up towards the end of the week and into the weekend. Still a bit too early to tell. I just want you to be aware that that's what we are going to be looking at. Temperatures might not change all that much. Again, a lot of the models have been very much back and forth into the low 80s, all the way up into the upper 80s, low 90s. So again, it's been all over the place. So just take the weekend with a grain of salt. We're still 10 days out. So by the time we hit next week and mainly into the early to middle portion of next week, we'll have a much more clear picture on your weekend plans. And I know Southern Missing State's going to be going on into Hattiesburg. So fingers crossed that the weather stays at 84 and there's little to no rainfall there. But again, that will be changing for sure.
Yes, I would say at most lower 90s, at the lowest mid to upper 80s is what we're looking at for the extended forecast for now. But just like Chase was saying, we're going to have to watch that. And we're also going to have to watch a few areas out in the tropics as well. We have one that has a medium risk that's kind of in the central Atlantic. And then just north of that, it's kind of north of the Leeward Islands in the Caribbean. Yeah. We're looking at 90% chance. So this is likely going to be a depression by the weekend, if not by this afternoon, and possibly a named storm by the early part of next week. So that's the main thing we're going to watch. But good news is the track expects it to be very similar to the track of Hurricane Erin, kind of straight towards a little bit towards the west, but mostly north, so that it'll stay in the Atlantic. We're not expecting this system that we're tracking at the moment, the 90% one right there. It's not predicted to make landfall anywhere, but definitely not the Gulf Coast.
Yeah. So that's all well and good. That the 50% is actually an invest, was named an invest a long time ago. And a lot of the forecast models do have it moving into the Caribbean, but it's really not even developing into anything. Every single model that I looked at this morning pretty much backed off on a lot of the development out there. Even with that 90% chance, it looks like it might be short-lived, if anything at all. So thankfully, in terms of what's going on out there, I know it looks busy. I know it looks scary, but it's really not. A lot of that stuff will stay out to sea or just fizzle on out. It's got to move through a very tough environment out there. So
yes,
thankfully it's staying quiet in the Gulf for sure.
Yes. A lot of this because of the placement of high pressure out in the Atlantic. It's so far towards the east, kind of closer to Europe, so that when the storms have to move around the high, it would usually push them closer to the mainland United States. But that's not happening for at least for this point in the season so far. We've seen all the storms kind of just staying out in the Atlantic, not causing too much trouble.
We needed Aaron to say that.
Yes, Aaron was huge. I shouldn't say all the storms because we have had disturbances in the Gulf. We have had that. We had the tropical storm earlier that went through Texas. Yeah. But so far for the peak of the season, I should say.
Yeah. A lot of it is just rainmakers pushing into the Gulf, and we could still be tracking that. But thankfully, right now, looking quiet. And that's really all we got for your local forecast and out there in the tropics. No major changes over the next really couple days into this weekend. We will just be talking about the fact that...
Why did I do that so early?
It's okay.
Okay.
She's just excited.
It's a late morning. Yes.
It's Friday.
Friday.
Are you kidding me? It's Friday. We're ready to get on out of here. And I'm sure that y'all are ready to get on out wherever you're at. So if you have any lunchtime plans, go out and enjoy the nice weather while you can. But that's all we got for you. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll talk to you again tomorrow.